Well, I got quite a story on this record. I really loved the sound effects on this record, but apparently the group members did not like it when they first heard it. And the song is Susan by the Buckinghams, one of the best records, classic sunshine pop, up to number 16 the week of January 13th, 1968. One of my favorite songs by the Buckinghams. The Buckinghams had a huge hit coming off of well, they had a huge year 1967. It started out with Kind of a Drag, Don't You Care, Mercy, 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 Hey Baby, they're playing our song, and then Susan came out right around Christmas of 1967. One of my favorite songs of the 60s, Susan, partly because of the sound effects near the end of the record, but let me go into that right now. The Buckinghams, well, they played about 300 dates in 1967. They were playing package tours. They played with The Who. And they also played, who else did they play with? The Beach Boys. But they did some recording that year too, and they laid down the tracks, they laid down the vocals and some little overdubs on the song Susan. But there was this empty space near the end of the record, and they were puzzled by that. They went to their producer, James William Guercio. I believe it's Guercio, Guercio. James William Guercio, who later became a major producer for Chicago late in the 60s and the 70s, but we're in 1967 right now. There's nothing on this space. No music, nothing. And they were wondering, the group members, they came up to James William Guercio and they're like, what are you doing here? There's an empty space on this record. I mean, you wiped out some of our tracks. What's going on? And James William Garcia, his reply was, well, I got something special lined up. You're going to like it. You're going to love it. Just wait. I'll send you the track. I'll send you the record when I'm done with it. The Buckinghams, they went back on tour. They went to upstate New York. They got a copy of the record, Susan. They knew some fans. Their fans let them into their house, the group members into their house, and let the group members listen to their record on their record player. They put the needle on the record and they liked it. Susan, the band members, yeah, this is a good record. And then they came to this part of the sound effects. All of a sudden, it just stopped. And here comes these sound effects. And then and they thought it was a test pressing mistake, a flaw. They were like going, what the hell is this? What is James William Garcia? What the hell has he done with this record of ours? And they realized it was the real thing when the the love came out. Uh, I love you, yes I do, I do. That part came out, and they realized that this was not a mistake. This was the real deal. What James William Garcia did, I got this from another source, is he took a small excerpt. It's from an orchestra. It's from a chamber orchestra composition. It was called Central Park in the Dark. It was composed by a guy named Charles Ives back in 1906. He took a small excerpt from that piece of music or that composition. He incorporated it into the Buckingham's record, and the Buckinghams were like, "What the hell did you do?" They did not like it, and some of the radio stations didn't like it either. They edited out that part. That's my favorite. That made the record to me. Now, one of the group members, he admitted that after a while, he grew more affectionate towards the sound effects of that record. But at James William Garcia, he was telling them, "Don't worry about it. I got this." Well, anyway, this is it. I'll say it again. I'm just disappointed that the group members didn't like this. Didn't like the sound effects. But it sure made the record for me. It was lovely. It reminded the group, and looking back on it, it makes a lot of sense. When the group first heard this, the sound effects, the first thing on their mind was A Day in the Life by the Beatles. Sounded something right out of the Beatles, Sergeant Pepper. Well, here it is. This is the Buckinghams. It went to number 11. Went to number 2 in the Philippines, this record did. Susan by the Buckinghams on Billboard's Hot 100, January 13th, 1968.